Hey everyone, so I am on my way to run a few errands and I thought I'd talk to you guys while I was doing that, since I can do both, right? I'm a multitasker. I'm doing some traveling, so I wanted to make sure the truck was nice and clean. It's actually not bad, but not like clean like I like it. Like I like it really, really clean. So just because like if we have to spend 12 hours in a truck, God knows we're gonna be like expelling all kinds of human scents and noises and whatnot. So I want to make sure that the truck is clean so that when we travel it stays relatively clean. I guess today's like cleaning day actually, so we have assigned duties, my partner and I have one set of duties and responsibilities, he has other set of duties and responsibilities, and we do this every Monday. We do a cleaning day. Well, it's every other Monday. We do a hardcore clean every other Monday, and then the Mondays between the hardcore cleans we do like a soft clean. So today's the eclipse. It's actually happening like right now apparently. I have no idea what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I just wanted to have you guys ride around with me. I was like, I'm gonna talk about something, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, do I have to talk about anything? Can we just like have this time together? Can't we just share? The last few nights I haven't slept very well. I don't know if my pillow is not up to par. And, you know, every time I've gone to a hotel room and I fall asleep, the pillows are amazing, the bed's amazing, and I let my partner, talk me into getting like a firmer bed, because he says, oh, they soften up over time. Well, that was a bad idea. Every time I go to a hotel room, like, I sleep so well and I love it. And then I come home and I'm like, this is not the same. So I went like to the store. I went and bought like this really expensive pillow when I got back from my trip to Orlando, and it worked for a good like few weeks, and then it like got flat again, and I don't understand that. Like, why do pillows not hold their shape? So I haven't slept very well in the last few days. I think last night I actually allowed myself to sleep all night. The cats wake me up. Mama cat, she's like so spoiled because she wakes me up every single night around 3 or 4 o'clock, and so I have to get up, I have to, you know, shuffle over to the kitchen, give her something to eat. Then she pipes down, but she will just continue to try to wake me up because she wants me to play with her. And so in the last few nights, she's been doing that, and she's like, I don't know if she's been on steroids. What is going on with this girl? Like, so last night I was like, I've had it. I've officially had it. Like, I'm done. And so I was like, no, girl, you're not waking me up tonight. And so she got up and she got on the little nightstand, and she was like, you know, she likes to play with the lamp just to get my attention. And then when she like lands on the floor, jumps onto the floor, she tries to land in the hardest way possible, and she's this little bitty thing. And last night I wasn't having it, so I took my pillow and I grabbed it and I just like pretended to throw it at her, and then I hissed at the same time. Didn't hear from her again for the rest of the night. You know, whenever you are on the road and you see numbers aligning like 777 or 555, and pay attention to the license plates, you might see numbers that align. If they do, it's the universe's way of letting you know that you are where you're supposed to be, and don't worry. Now, that could be interpreted in several different ways. That could mean, okay, you are where you're supposed to be, and so, you know, just hang in there, like things are exactly how they should be. So don't worry if your life isn't right. Don't worry if things are not progressing the way they should. That doesn't mean that life's going to be perfect, or like, oh my God, the universe is telling you that everything's about to get amazing. No, it just means you're aligned with your path, and you're aligning with circumstances that are going to be beneficial for you. So just keep going, So when you see that, and some people believe in like the angel numbers, you know, like when you see like 1111 or whatever, and they go online, and of course there's this website where all they have is angel numbers. They call them angel numbers. I really don't think it has anything to do with angels, but that's just somebody that's kind of made it, you know, softened it up, the idea, and kind of made it a focus for everybody. It's like angels. But honestly, it just means you're in alignment, and you're where you're supposed to be. So don't worry so much, and things are coming your way regardless. So that's what it means. And if you actually see it like once or twice, you'll start to see it over and over and over again, because it really is the universe trying to give you a hey, heads up. So yeah, so this is the big city, right? This is driving in Houston. Oh my God. This is actually where I got into a wreck a few weeks ago. Oh, how funny, the license plate in front of me, it's 77, and then the next one is 772. So and then, okay, so I'm trying to get across. There's a officer there. I really need to get across. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. So I had gotten into a wreck a few weeks ago, and I never told you guys about it, and it was in this exact spot, like the spot right now that I'm driving on. It was right here, and I was rushing. Okay, so let me tell you the story. So I was rushing, and because I had a massage that day, and I had been wanting that massage, right? I was really wanting that massage. On the way here, it was like, Ferny, you need to slow down. You need to feel good, because right now you don't feel great. You feel like you're stressing out because you're rushing and you're trying to make this appointment. And you know, don't worry, they're gonna still give you your massage. It doesn't matter if you're late. Just let yourself get there when you get there, but you need to enjoy the ride over there, because if you don't enjoy the ride, then you're gonna start to put out anxiety and stress and worry and concern, and then you're going to start to like put that out energetically. You're going to start putting that out into the world. And so I was like, okay, so I was telling myself that, but I wasn't listening. I was still stressing out. I'm about to get into a smoother road because and you know, when we're in a truck, you know, everything's a lot like bumpier. When you're stressing out, you are putting that energy out into the universe, and you don't want to do that, because it's only going to keep you stuck in that kind of energy. I was rushing still, and I got to a certain point, and I just, you know, was trying to calm myself down. But then so there was a car in front, like the very, very front. That fool missed his exit, was trying to get back onto the exit before he it was too late though, but he stopped, and then the Beamer behind him slammed into him, and then the car behind her slammed into her, and then the truck in front of me, he stopped literally like inches within hitting her, but then I was too close behind him, and so I plowed into his ass. I immediately got out, and I was like, okay, like I was like, crap, you know. And it's interesting because when you're into a wreck, I had a wreck before many years ago, and it was so traumatic. I mean, I spent the rest of the day just like, oh my god, like the world, like everything's so big, expensive, I can't afford this, how am I gonna get past this? Like I was just stuck in this like really ugly mental place for the rest of the day. This time, the first thought that popped into my head, was, damn it, I'm gonna miss my massage. Like, not, oh, the insurance is gonna get me, or oh my gosh, like now I'm not part of my budget, now I've got to pay for this. None of that, just, damn it, I'm gonna miss my massage. And so that's the first thought that popped into my head. You know, luckily the guy was cute, so I was like, oh cool, like you're cute, okay, that makes it easier. Okay, yeah, are you okay? He's like, yeah. And he had a truck too, and the damage to his truck was like nothing. It was just a little, it was an F-150, so it was nothing. My truck, I drive like a Nissan Frontier. The front of my truck was a little like pushed in. It wasn't bad though, but it was still pushing. You could tell that I hit something. But I was like, damn it. And so we could still drive our vehicles. And he's like, well, he says, I was in the same wreck. I was in the exact same wreck 1 month ago. I was the one that hit somebody behind, and this is the exact same wreck, except I'm the one getting hit this time. And he says, I don't want to call it in because I've already dealt with the insurance company. I'm done with dealing with insurance companies, so I don't want to call it in. So, well, you know, if you want to call it in, that's fine. I was like, oh yeah, I probably will, because I don't really like the feeling of my truck being all jacked up in the front. So yeah, I'll probably call it in. What's interesting is I got home and I did make my massage, just so you know, I did actually get to my massage in time. But I got home and I called my partner's mom, and I was telling her, she's like, you know Nat, which is another person that we know, she's like, you know, she just got into a wreck last week with her truck, and me and Nat, we both bought our trucks around the same time, so we have this like whole, like, we're both truck buddies, you know. And so I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And I was like, where? She's like, I don't know. So I text Nat, it's like, hey, I didn't know you wrecked your truck. She's like, yeah, I got hit, and it was right at the spot, and she told me where it was, which is like the Allen Parkway 45 South exit. And I was like, oh my god, that's where I got into my wreck. So, and it was interesting because then I was hearing about other people getting into wrecks, and so you'll find that whenever someone gets into a wreck, all of a sudden it's like a little bit of a disease, and everybody else starts getting into minor wrecks or little minor things. But it's law of attraction. That's what it is. It's energy. It's law of attraction. And I know that I aligned myself with that experience. I'm glad though that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, and it's all been taken care of now. I mean, it's like everything was handled for me. But I'm glad it wasn't as bad of an experience, but it was law of attraction, and we do attract those kinds of things into our lives. And I think it set off when I was on my way to Santa Fe the first time, a few weeks prior to the wreck. I was traveling to Santa Fe, and I actually got pulled over and got a ticket. And so that made me feel vulnerable. That made me feel like, damn it, I'm not invincible. Like, because I normally travel when I'm traveling my vehicle, and I pretend there's a magic bubble of protection around me, and it's kind of like those, you know, those bubble wraps that you wrap around stuff and you bounce off of it. I pretend that that's around my vehicle, and I haven't really been doing that a lot lately. But on the way to Santa Fe, for some reason in this last trip, I felt kind of vulnerable. Maybe because of all of the stuff happening with you know, the government and people, you know, having, you know, all the people coming out forward who are just being hateful and stuff, and it made me feel a little subconscious and a little scared, worried. And I know not to have those thoughts because I'm aligning with that energy, but I was like, I felt vulnerable, like I was going to be like stopped by a police officer or something, because we go through these little podunk towns that are very scary to go through, especially if you're like a gay psychic and a Hispanic. So we went there, and I got a ticket. So luckily the officer was very nice, and actually I know a lot of officers, so you know, I don't know why I'm afraid of officers, because I'm like, I think it's the media, and it's just like drumming it into my mind that, you know, like police officers are all brutal. And no, like I know so many police officers who are amazing people. They do really good things, and I love having police officers. So, but you know, there are some really crappy ones out there who are the focal point of all of this stuff, and there are definitely some officers that need to be trained properly, because they may be, for budget reasons, they may not have been trained properly, or the wrong people were not assessed when they were given their positions. But there's some amazing officers that are there. And on the way there, we actually went through a restaurant, and on the I'm sorry, we went through like a drive-through, and the officers were handing out our breakfast, and they're like, here you go, sir, where are you going? I was like, oh, we're going to New Mexico. And they're like, oh, why? Nobody seems to know why New Mexico is so beautiful, but it is. It's absolutely gorgeous if you've never been there. It's not like desert or anything like that. And a lot of people don't realize that Mexico and New Mexico are two separate things. Mexico is like a different country. New Mexico is a state in the United States. A little geography for you. But yeah, so I know that I got into that wreck. It was I aligned with it. Not only did I align with it because I was rushing and I was not enjoying the process, but also I had already been building up this like fear and idea around a wreck. And I had actually been, for weeks before the wreck, every time I go through a crossway where there's like, you know, a four-way, I always look to see if I'm gonna get hit. And I'm like, why the hell do I keep doing this? And I'm like, I need to stop it because I'm gonna get into a wreck. And sure enough, I got into a wreck. And it could just be, you could say it is maybe it's my psychic ability was picking up on it in advance, or maybe I just attracted it to me. But I got through it. It was fine, and it was amazing. So, well, I'm here at my mail place. I got to pick up some mail, and then I'm gonna head over to get my truck oil changed. So, we will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.